of the thick of it all. If they don't give me room, well then I'll give them a while. I'm gonna smoke my tires when the victory calls. I'm gonna be there, be there. I wanna see my face up on the jumbo screen. Feel the white hot metal of a winning machine. Because you win or you lose and there's no in between. I wanna be there, be there, be there.
NASCAR on speed. Be there.
The next race on the Target Series schedule is another unique racetrack as we head to the Hattiesburg Speedway for the running of the Verizon 300. On pole for today's race, the 7 of Justin Zeidel, beside him in second, the 39 of Jake Richardson. Then in third place, it's Jeff Wright, fourth place for Keyshawn Richardson, and rounding out the top 5, Brandon Beal in the 90. Then in sixth place, we have Landon Lyons. Seventh, it's Matt Oskin. DJ Reed starts in eighth. Ninth place to Ronan Curtis, and Riley Sprayto in the 22 rounds at the top 10. Back behind them for the rest of the starters, Will Graymont, who's outside. Second in points, Zachary DeLello. Then we have Kenny Walrus in the 99 and the 2 of Luke Rainey. Then there's Jake Galloway in the 89 of Conrad Evans. Felix Janssen looking to get that points lead back. Nolan Lawrence to his outside. Then we have Matt as well as the 16 and the 9 of Brett Sierra, along with Levi Shones and Eric Olson in the 66. Then there's our points leader Dane Lloyd in the 21, who's outside the 19 of Jay Jefferson. Then we have Code Red and Jennifer Buford, Jay Randall the 74 and the 12 of Adam McDowell, Ross McTrain and Jose Mills, Eli Bright and Jonathan Buford, Brennan Sarland and Bronson Minnick, Colton Yeo, Marshall Burrell, Jordan Stout, Anthony Hernandez. In the final row, Matthew Burnett and Evan Hunter start back 39th and 40th here today at Hattiesburg. There's the starting line for racing here in the Verizon 300. Let's go on trackside for those famous words to fire these cars up.
Drivers, start your engines!
Cars are rolling here at the 1.2-mile oval, Hattiesburg to go racing for 38 laps in the Verizon 300. Two of the top 3 starters from Junior Motorsports. The other 2 inside the top 4 are Richardson's, as it's Jake Richardson, Keyshawn Richardson on the top side. Zeidel in the 7 at least to the green flag here in Hattiesburg as they come down the front stretch to the restart zone. He's on the gas. Green flag waving in the air at Hattiesburg. Down the backstretch of the race for the first time today, some 3 wide further back inside the top 10. In the middle for the 18 of Reed. Down low, Kenny Walrus and others try to sort it as they go through 3 and 4 for the first time today. Off the 4th corner, pole sitter Zeidel leads the first lap over teammate Jeff Wright in the 1. This is an unpredictable racetrack. This is a track where you don't really know what's ever going to happen until it does happen. Right there, Zeidel misses the exit of turn 2, and Jeff Wright moves to the inside of the 1. They're side by side down the backstretch for the top spot here in Hattiesburg. That brings the 90 of Brandon Beal and the 10 of Keyshawn Richardson also into this fight. As Jeff going to move by to lead the second lap, it looks like. Beal will move to 3rd. These 4 get away. Then 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Right here, Kenny Walrus emerging inside the top 10. Jake Galloway moving up 3 wide behind. In the middle for Conrad Evans. Down low, Felix Janssen trying to get some points back after he lost many in the last few races. He started the season very, very strongly, but since then it's been poor performances as to the front, Brandon Beal easily gets by Jeff Wright. Richardson also gets by the 1, so Jeff not a good 1 and 2. 2 cars get around it now. Keyshawn looking for lead off turn 4 to the inside of Brandon Beal and sliding it sideways off 4. It's a hard racetrack to drive and worn out pavement. These tires, they're very, very soft. You can get very, very loose easily here, and we've seen it so far here in this race. These guys are all over this 1.2-mile racetrack, trying to find a way to get around cleanly. DJ Reed looks low and Smet Oskin down the backstretch, but Oskin looking like he's going to be able to clear for 4th. Ronan Curtis climbs the banking. Will Graymont to his inside. Walrus trying to get by our pole sitter Justin Zeidel. As back to the front, 2 cars break away. Keyshawn Richardson leads Jeff Wright off to the first corner. I would also like to mention this is the first ever time the Target Series has come to this racetrack. The last few seasons, the Pennzoil Truck Series has been here. Gatorade Cup Series came here for the first time last season. The Target Series, however, did not visit here. This is the first time ever these cars are on this racetrack. So this is history here. It's the first and final time these cars will be at this racetrack racing. And Jeff Wright looking to the bomb in turn 1 for the lead on Keyshawn Richardson. Oh, he slams him! Doors Keyshawn out of the way! Jeff Wright, a power move by Keyshawn Richardson, and drives away from him because he doesn't want to stay with them, I can tell you that. He definitely wants to get away from that 10 car. He just went there, doored him up the racetrack. Keyshawn's definitely not going to be happy with Jeff Wright after that one. Jeff needs to get away now. Beals can move to second off that, but my gosh, some physical racing here at Hattiesburg. Jake Galloway inside the top 10. Here comes Luke Rainey. Got his first top 10 this season in Boston. Trying to back up with another one here in Hattiesburg. He just moved to 10th by Samet Oskin. Second up points to Lellos. We had some car at some point get sideways. We stay green, but it might have been landed lines the 4 and the 36 of Brent Sarlin. Lyons has some right side damage, and Sarlin's back there with him, so I have to wonder if maybe Lyons got the wall and half spun or some along the lines of that. But DeLello moves up just outside the top 10, comes in second in points, only about 3, I think it is, behind Denny Lloyd, so he has a shot to try and get to the points, see if he has a good finisher today. Teammates battle right here for 14th. Sierra's on the outside, Zaydell is to the inside of him. They almost made some contact. They're able to keep it going. And McDowell looking for a top 15 on the 9 of Sierra. Danny Lloyd right here, our points leader back here. Conrad Evans moving by him. Right there, Eric Olson, Jose Mills, and others trying to sort their way through this track. And something we also didn't mention about this, pit stops are going to happen at some point in this race, whether it be under yellow or under green. So if this race stays green for a good bit, you can definitely expect them to happen under the green flag as Jeff Wright loses the lead to Ronan Curtis. Keyshawn cleanly by the 1 car. Ronan Curtis his first laps of the day here in Hattiesburg. Is back behind. Teammates battle. DJ Reed inside Jake Gowen. That's a battle for a top 10 spot. Zachary DeLello moving up inside the top 10. Jeff Wright up top 3 wide. That 1 car starting to drop back, so looks like Jeff's fading at this stage of the race. He's got past 3 wide and back outside the top 5 now for Jeff Wright. I think that's the first time today he's not been inside the top 5. He's going to try and split middle of 3 right here. Brandon Beal to his outside, DeLello to his inside. They're in a 3-way race down the backstretch. Keyshawn Richardson had an issue off turn 2. He got a little loose and had to get down the racetrack. Catch it as Curtis gets passed by Kenny Walrus. Walrus out in front won his first race ever at Hillside a few races ago, and now looking for another one here in Hattiesburg. Rainey moving up through the field, up to 6th, and that 2 car is looking pretty strong right now. And back here, these guys are sliding it sideways through the corners, and they are going crazy. They're still 3 wide with Jeff Wright in the middle and Brandon Beal up top. This time, Ad McDowell moves to the inside, but these guys are all over this racetrack, trying to find some grip off these corners and into these corners. Just one fun racetrack for sure. These drivers have to drive these cars, and it may get spread out at times, but there's definitely always battling. Walrus got passed back by Ronan Curtis, so these guys are trying to lead back and forth multiple times in this race. A lot more than what we're used to seeing in the Pentel Truck Series or Gatorade Cup Series here. These guys are all over the racetrack and making some big moves as Curtis leads down the back. Keyshawn Richardson's inside looking to try and get there. Raymond went to the top. He's going to get passed by Jake Richardson in the 39. That's Curtis's teammate who's right now leading this race. Luke Rennie inside the top 5 down the 2 car. First time today. Richardson now beneath the 93 off to turn 1. It's a 6-car breakaway right now. The 10, the 93, the 39. They have the 42, the 2, and the 99. Those 6 have broken away. 7th place, DJ Reed. 8th place, Adam McDowell. 9th is Galloway. 10th is our pulsator, Zaydell. 2nd place, our Jeff Wright is right now 11th. In fact, 3 of the JRM cars are 10th, 11th, and 12th. That'd be Zaydell, Jeff Wright, and Brett Sear. The only one up here is Eli Brent, the 8th, who was the poor starter of those 4. And right now has not been able to make any progress forward whatsoever. Right now, Eli's back in the 32nd position, balanced Prospect Train there. So it's not been a great day for Eli Bright here. And Brendan Sarlin's back here as well in 40th. Luke Rainey is still moving through the field. He's gone up to 3rd now in the 2 car and looking for a 2nd on Jake Richardson. He might have something to say if this thing stays green. Looks like that car really, really good in the long run. He's going to move inside of Jake right here, Jake Richardson. Luke was really, really good here last season in the Gatorade Cup Series, so I don't think this is a shock that he's running well here in the Target Series. He needs something to go right. He ran well at Boston, but didn't get the finish that I think he deserved. He finished down around 9th place, and I think he deserves something inside the top 5. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hold it up here at the front. Pit stops are going to be looming at some point. Walrus to try and shoot the middle of 3, but gets loose into Keyshawn. He almost hits Ronan Curtis. They all save it, but what a great catch, and what a move by Kenny Walrus trying to make it stick in the middle, but Luke Rennie gets with the lead in the 2. That was interesting. Once again, Keyshawn Richardson almost got slammed out of the way for the lead. Luke climbed the hill. That's not what he wanted. Curse now come with a run to the inside. Got back in the gas sooner than the two could. Curtis to second. Will Graymont trying to lead his first laps of the day. Graymont for third on Keyshawn Richardson. He has Jake Richardson with them. And here comes Curse to the inside of Luke Rainey. Luke going to lead his second consecutive lap, but doesn't have the preferred lane to turn one, and that's going to hurt him. And McDowell now in this lead draft in the 12. So McDowell in the lead pack, making 7 cars. And it might be 8 because our pole star Zydell's trying to come back, but he goes wide in turns 1 and 2. His teammate Jeff Bright there in 9th. DJ Reed right now in 10th. Sierra and Evans almost make contact. They're 11th and 12th. And then the front 2 in points, DeLello and Lloyd. As they run right now, DeLello would get it off Lloyd. But right here, as the 35 goes wide, they're side by side. The 2 points contenders are for a top 13. And right here, Sierra moves by DJ Reed to move to 10th. So now JRM, 8th, 9th, and 10th, led by Zydell. Luke Rainey passed by Will Graymont. As Curtis led that last lap, Will Graymont moves out in front. Now, teammates battle. Richardson is inside of teammate Curtis, and McDowell joins the fun. And here comes Kenny Walrus back in the 99, and then Justin Zydell, his teammate Jeff Bright, and the 10 of Keyshawn Richards falling outside the top 5. And here comes Luke back for the lead on Will Graymont. He actually stole it at the line, so Graymont still has not led a lap here today. Luke got it there by maybe a few inches. Halfway this time by. In the Verizon 300, it's been an entertaining race. We've seen comers and goers in this race. Zydell started up on pole, fell back outside the top 10. Now he's back up in this lead pack with a shot. Once again, pit stops looming at some point in this race. Jeff Wright, the 1, also starting to move back up. Conrad Evans, first time he's been top 10 here today, just moved by Brett Sierra for that 10th spot. And Danny Lloyd, the highest, he's been up to 12th as DeLello, the 35, fades back. He's right now out of the points lead. Lloyd would keep it at this rate, but look at cut to his inside for 12th. And here comes Brandon Beal trying to come back. Beal was a contender inside the top 5 early on, but he's faded back. Coming around, 20 laps complete this time by in Hattiesburg. Luke Rainey's gotten away from the field behind. They've out for second. McDowell moves up to second, but now to his inside, Ronan Curtis. McDowell is a name we haven't mentioned inside the top 5 much here today. He's up, just moved up to second there, but now passed. Kenny Walrus coming back in the 99. Here comes Zydell, our pole sitter. Faded back, but mid-race, that car's starting to come alive in the long run. These guys battling. They keep battling like this. It's going to bring down Jeff Wright, then Jake Richardson, and Conrad Evans. That'll be 10 cars, maybe even 11 with Brett Sierra. And who knows if Brandon Beal can maybe get back up there in the 90. Lloyd still maintains to have Jose Mills, last season's champion. There's Colton Yo. DeLello still fade back. Jay Jefferson was inside. There's Eric Olson, Levi Shones. So Matt Osgood's up there early on. He's back to 21st. Marshall Burrell's back here. Jay Randall as well. There's Riley Spurley to Anthony Hernandez. Jake Gowers up there at the beginning. He's back to now 26. Just got by Jennifer Beefer for that spot. Felix Jensen's back down to about 30th. So there were some names that were up running inside the top 20, top 15 early on. They have now faded back. Evan Hunter back here along with John DeBeaver back in 39th and 40th. At the stripe, 15 to go in Hattiesburg. Luke Rainey, once he's gotten up front, he's done a nice job holding it. Curtis now under fire from Kenny Walrus. They almost slammed doors down the backstretch off turn 2. Zydell's going to try and push that 9-3 clear. Zydell to the outside of Kenny Walrus. Might try to shoot in the middle here for a second. Wait, another car getting to the wall. No yellow again, but there was some smoke there in 3 and 4. Now the battle for third. Zydell's inside of Ronan Curtis. Walrus moves to second, trying to reel in the 2 Luke Rainey. Keyshawn Richardson back up inside the top 5 in the 10. Will Graymont as well, and McDowell to 6th. Curtis back to 7th as Jeff Wright's under fire from Jake Richardson. And Conrad Evans makes it a 10-car race at the front. Peel back up to 11th in the battle for 12th. Sierra is under fire from the 18 of DJ Reed. As Sierra gets into the wall through 3 and 4 in the 9. Have to surrender that spot to DJ Reed and loses a lot of time as well in that 9 car. Zydell for second on Kenny Walrus. Dives into the bottom and might be looking for the lead. Luke Rainey goes wide and has to slip. Zydell inside our pole star, moving back out in front of Hattiesburg. 13 laps to go at the line. This has been incredible racing here today. Zydell moves back out in front. Our pole star moves back to the front. Keyshawn Richardson looking to get back up to second. Will Graymont's moving back forward in the 42 as well. Adam McDowell to 12 right behind them. Graymont tried to get inside Keyshawn Richardson but couldn't. back here that might go 3 wide. Kenny Waller's trying to shoot the middle between Adam McDowell and Luke Rainey. Luke able to maintain for 4th right now. Now they slide 3 wide. Walrus into the wall in the 9-9. He'll get off it. Contact with the wall for the 9-9. 39 Jake Richardson slid sideways off the corner. Here comes Conrad Evans in the 89 with the run. Jeff Wright, Brandon Beal gain as well in the 1 in the 90. Evans moves to 8th. Is up front for 2nd. Will Graymont is inside of Keyshawn Richardson in the 10. 11 laps to go at the start-finish line. I thought they were going to have to pit, but will they have to pit? We're getting down to the final 10 laps, and no one's made a pit stop quite yet, so either they can stretch this out really, really long. They don't have to. 11 to go. The field getting single-filed outside. Dell with a mistake in the 7. Keyshawn Richardson to the middle. How about Graymont to the bottom? 3 wide in the 42. Will Graymont 3 wide for the lead in Hattiesburg. And now it's 6 cars under a blanket for the top spot. They might look 4 wide through 3 and 4. Look at this mess. Will Graymont moves out front. Will this be the first lap play of the day for him in the 42? I think Keyshawn got on the outside in the 10. 10 laps to go in Hattiesburg. And look at this pack of cars. Graymont now in front. Curtis now to 2nd. Luke Rainey looking for 3rd on Keyshawn Richardson. Conrad Evans moves low in the 89 looking for a spot on Adam McDowell, Kenny Walrus, and then you have these 2 back here, Jeff Wright and Brandon Beal, that might be watching this happening. In case a crash happens, they can try and avoid it. Keyshawn cuts inside of Ronan Curtis, as meanwhile, Will Graymont will lead his first laps of the day. He leads with now under 10 to go, 9 laps to go in the Verizon 300. This has been remarkable stuff. Graymont slides wide, Keyshawn Richardson to the inside of the 10. They'll drag race down the back to turn 3. And what does Jake Richardson do as those 2 go a little bit wider? Jake couldn't get to the bottom though in the 39. These 2 teammates right here, they might have something for them. RSS. 8 laps to go. Look at these hungry drivers. Keyshawn Richardson looking for his 2nd win of the season. He'd be the first driver to win multiple races this season. Jake Richardson wants something to go right. Ronan Curtis wants to win in the 93. How about Will Graymont? He's never won. Luke Rainey needs something to turn this miserable season around. Pulls there as Idell wants to win. Kenny Walrus wants to go for a 2nd win in just a few races. Conrad Evans has never won in anything. Jeff Wright looking to get back on top of the Target Series. Brandon Beal, Adam McDowell, and DJ Reed also still up here. 12 cars for the lead. Richardson looks low. Keyshawn got the run off the top with those tires. As these tires start to wear out, the top side becomes a little bit better on corner exit. So the pack's now split a little bit. Evans inside Dell around side by side, slowing them down a little bit. 6 laps to go. What happens at the front? Will we get our first repeat winner of the season? Or will the trend continue of new winners every race? Back behind, they're going 3 wide. Zidell shuffled out by teammate Jeff Wright and McDowell. That's 4 championships for the inside of Zidell right there, and definitely hurt the 7. He might now be out of a shot to win this race. These guys aren't though. With 5 to go, yellow flag would end this race. Keyshawn Richardson, Jake Richardson, Luke Rainey, Will Graymont, Ronan Curtis, all battling as hard as ever. Luke to the inside of Richardson for the lead, and Luke Rainey back out front. I think he's definitely had the best car today, and he's shown at the end. 4 to go at the line. And maybe a crossover for Jake Richardson to the inside of the 2. Runs him a little bit wider. Off 4. Side by side. Deadlocked at the line. 4 laps to go. Jake Richardson led the line. Luke will try and slot back in 2nd, but there comes Richardson's teammate Ronan Curtis to the inside. 39 gets away, but the 2 can clear for 2nd. Walrus slides it sideways in the 99. Conrad Evans trying to join him on the bottom. Beal shuffled high in the 90. And McDowell tried to get low, but couldn't. DJ Reed with a late charge. Was 12th just a few laps ago. He's now up inside the top 10, looking for 9th. 2 cars break away from the double file behind. 3 laps to go. Jake Richardson leads it. Luke Rainey right now in hot pursuit in 2nd. Then Will Graymont clears it in 3rd. Then they're side by side 4th on back. Walrus trying to get by. Ronan Kurz have a shot at the front, but with 2 to go, it might just be those 3 cars that cleared to try and win this race. All 3 of those have not won yet this season. Walrus is clear in 4th, but he needs some miracle to happen in front. 2 to go. Luke Rainey gains on Jake Richardson to turn 1. Does that 39 go wide again? He went a little bit wider than the 2. Luke's never run on corner exit. If they start balanced side by side, what can Will Graymont do in the 42? How can he close in? Get ready for this one. 1.2 miles remain, and 3 cars to settle it. Last lap is underway at Hattiesburg. Off to turn 1. Jake Richardson with the lead. Luke Rainey to the bumper, but couldn't get inside. In fact, loses ground on exit. Richardson pulls a gap down the backstretch for the final time. Jake Richardson, Luke Rainey, Will Graymont to settle it at Hattiesburg. Turns 3 and 4. Richardson slides up the track to maintain momentum, and off the 4th corner for the final time, Jake Richardson holds Luke Rainey off. He wins the race at Hattiesburg. And some cars could not make it on fuel. It was that close. I think everyone that was inside the top 10 at the end did make it. And fortunately they did, because it was an outstanding battle to the end. Jake Richardson will win this race in the 39, beating the 2 of Luke Rainey and the 42 of Will Graymont. Let's go see the finish results and the update points. Here's how they finished in the Verizon 300 at the Hattiesburg Speedway. No caution flags today in this race, but 15 lead changes, 8 different drivers led here today in this race, and Jake Richardson out front at the end wins this race, leading 5 of the 38 laps. Luke Rainey tried his best. He tried everything he could to get by. He ends up a close second, led the second most laps of 9 here today. Will Graymont ends up in 3rd, Kenny Walrus in 4th, and Brandon Beal rounds at the top 5 in the 90. 6th place goes to Ad McDowell, Conrad Evans in 7th, DJ Reed, Ronan Curtis, Justin Zeidel from pole, and Keyshawn Richardson. Zeidel was 10th, Curtis was 9th. Richardson ends up in 11th, so Zeidel from pole, final car inside the top 10. Keyshawn Richardson led the most laps of 10 here today, ends up in 11th. Mills, Jefferson, Sierra, and DeLello also get top 15s, and how about how these guys finished, right? DeLello and Lloyd, 15th and 16th. The difference between those spots is 3 points, which means those 2 are currently tied for the points lead, DeLello and Lloyd. Look down here. Some cars could not make it on field at the end. They started with Marshall Burrow in the 52. Jansen as well, along with Randall Code Red, Matthew Burnett, Jennifer Beeford, Brendan Sarlin, Jeff Bright, and Evan Hunter. So the biggest loser on that one was Jeff Bright. He was running up inside the top 10 when he had to come down for fuel. All the other guys were really back there already, so maybe they lost a few positions, but Hunter was already back there around 4th. Brendan Sarlin, Jennifer Beeford, Matthew Burnett, Code Red, Jay Randall, Felix Jansen. Those are names we didn't really talk about here today. But Jeff Harris, a name we mentioned a lot here today. He led 4 laps, but fuel issues. The 1 car finishes back at 39th. Let's now go see the points. 8 races into the 28 race season, and here are the points look. Zachary DeLello, Danny Lloyd right now tied on top, both with 1,024 points. Back behind them in 3rd, Levi Shones, Anthony Hernandez, and Justin Zeidel. They complete the top 5. There's actually a tie for 5th. Yo just behind Zeidel right now in 6th. Then you have Kenny Walrus, Landon Lyons, Felix Jansen, and Keyshawn Richardson. Rounding up the top 10, Jake Richardson with the win today moves up to 11th in points. So the Richardsons both had really good days, and they both move up into the chase right now. Eli Bright falls outside the top 10, but that win backs him up as a wildcard spot right now. And Jose Mills, right now down 17th, is just short of a wildcard spot from Eli Bright. But so far, 8 races, 8 different winners in this Target Series season. Winners you don't see on here are down here. Marshall Burrow and Cement Oskin are just outside the top 20. In fact, Burrow's 6 out, Oskin's 10 out. So they're still very, very close to the top 20. And right now, all those 8 winners have realistic shots at wildcard spots. This could be a fun battle to watch out for as this season draws further on. How many winners are we going to get? Will we get any repeat winners before the chase starts? And, you know, if we don't, that's going to be an amazing battle to try and make it into the postseason in terms of wildcard spots. So 8 races in, 20 races remain in the final Target Series season. And next time out, we're going to Iowa for the Advanced Auto Parts 250. I'll see you guys